name is Will Artley. I was born in Savannah, Georgia, October 29th, 1954. I first started swimming when I was 6 months old. My parents would put me in a life preserver, then put me in an inner tube, and tie me to a floating dock on the Intracoastal Waterway and just let me float in the water, let me splash, have fun, let me fall asleep while my brother and sisters played around. But I really started swimming when I was 7 years old in 1962. I swam anything that didn't require breaststroke, so butterfly, backstroke, and freestyle were my specialties. So my first swim team experience, I'm going to be honest, was 56 years ago. I don't really remember the team, but I do remember the coach. His name was Paul Thompson. He was a young man, and he and his sisters, Jackie and Judy, they focused on technique more than just swimming up and down the pool. And at the age of 7, they taught me alternate breathing, which is breathing every third stroke, which helped me along my career because it keeps your stroke consistent. You're not rolling one way or the other way, and it really just paid off dividends in my career. My primary coach throughout my life was my mother, and what she taught me was that just because you don't know how to do something doesn't mean you can't learn how to do it and excel at it. My parents built a pool, and she became a swim coach. She didn't know what to do. She started reading books, started learning, networking, talking to people, and she coached me, Missy Willoughby, and George Lingenfelser into being college swimmers. Missy swam for Florida, I swam for Florida, George swam for the University of Georgia. The other coach was Randy Reese, and what he taught me was that when you think you've lost everything, there's always a way that you can win, and you'll learn more about that later. Well, I selected Florida. I was recruited by Eddie Reese. Eddie Reese was the assistant coach at Florida. Bill Harlan was the head coach, but he was coach in name only. Eddie was a deck coach. I had a great program there. I had good swimmers, and I just felt like it was a good fit for me. Went through numerous coaches. Pete Orshite was one. He coached me into third place in the 1975 NCAA championship. And then my last coach was Randy Reese, who was Eddie Reese's brother. Titles and records I set. I know when I swam in Georgia, I set numerous state records. To be honest, I can't remember any of them. I had 5 or 6 SEC championships while I was at Florida. I was a record holder for Florida, then 100 and 200 yard backstroke. I dabbled in master swimming in 2 years. In 1991, I set the world record in the 100 meter freestyle for the 35 to 39 age group. The following year, I was world champion in the 100 backstroke at the world championship meet. My current profession is I'm a senior technical writer and editor at Oak Ridge Associated Universities. My primary work is with the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in public health preparedness and medical countermeasure dispensing. What swimming helped me with is when I'm writing or editing documents, it helps me to focus because I can sit at the desk for 6 hours straight without getting up, writing a document, editing a document, and I think swimming, that's what taught me how to do that. My hero when I was swimming was Don Scholander. He was the first person to break 2 minutes in the 200 meter freestyle in 1963. In 1964, he won 4 gold medals in the Olympics. Then he retired. After that, it was Mark Spitz and a guy named John Kinsella, a distance swimmer. Today, I would say I have 3 heroes. First is my wife, Diane. The other is my daughter, Kyla. The other is my son, Ross. I think luck plays a role in everybody's life, or you call it serendipity or whatever. For me, 1973 was a very lucky year. My freshman year at the SEC Championships in Knoxville, Tennessee, I qualified 7th in the 100-yard backstroke. Well, top 6 made finals, so I didn't make finals. But the Tennessee swimmer who did make finals got disqualified on technicalities, so I made finals and went on to win the SEC Championship that night. In August that year, I was swimming at the Long Course Nationals in Louisville, Kentucky, and U.S. Swimming was taking the top 3 swimmers on an international trip in South America. I finished 4th in the 100-meter backstroke, but the winner, John Neighbor, was disqualified for an illegal turn. So I finished 3rd, and I joined the national team that toured Trinidad, Caracas, and Maracaibo, Venezuela, and Kingston, Jamaica. But the best stroke of luck is what Randy Reese taught me, and I referred to earlier, is I was assistant coach with the University of Florida in 1978. We traveled down to Miami to swim the Hurricanes. Now this was February. We're training hard. We're not ready to compete at a high level. Unfortunately, we get there to find that Miami has shaved their bodies, shaved their heads, and they are ready to beat the Gators. So we competed. It went down to the final relay. Whoever won the relay would win the meet. But Randy decided to put a team in lane 1 exhibition, and he told them, intentionally, he told them, you swim as slow as you want. And so the relays went off, neck and neck the whole way, until Miami touched out our relay and won the meet. They got so excited they started throwing the towels in there and jumping in the pool. But wait, the rule says any competitor jumps in the pool before the last person is finished shall be disqualified. Miami was disqualified, Florida won the meet, and we laughed all the way back to Gainesville. The following year we had t-shirts printed up when Miami came to Gainesville that said, "Look before you leap" on the back.